hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, the summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay on forever. We'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Monday, and it's time for us crocheting again a bit together and whatnot. It's been weekend. I enjoyed my weekend. I had a great walk. Like Saturday, I walked for a good solid, I think, 10 kilometers. And I also had time to crochet. Not Saturday, it was Sunday. It was yesterday. Day before yesterday. Time flies. Yesterday I had a long walk. Saturday we went grilling. I would like to call it barbecuing. We had family time, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So it was a like, even though I had appointments the weekend, it was a chill weekend. And yeah, I did reach to do crocheting, and we are almost finished with the Veilwyn Shawl. Aha. Believe it or not, we are working on the last row. Good afternoon, Helen. Good morning, Susan. Wonderful to see you guys. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. I showed you shortly the thumbnail, which is basically where we are at, and we are working on the last row. But I will quickly just show you the flat lay photo, and you will be able to see the real size of it, where you will definitely be able to conclude that it can just barely lay on my table. I see I need to decrease the size just ever so slightly here for it to be all on screen. Give me a moment, please. Like that. Here we go. So yeah, that's the goal for today. We are gonna work on the Veilwyn Shawl, because of course I'd like to get this project finished. I just need to gather around here where what is what. I ended up winding up the yarn in a little ball because it was caving in and it was starting to threaten me with yarn bath. Susan says it's pretty and she likes how the darker blues coming along. I agree, these dark teals, blues maybe, but definitely sort of teals, they really make it nice. It pops really nicely. I like how it lays also on the table. I think it is definitely becoming quite gorgeous. And I know once this shawl is blocked, it will increase further in size and it will really show the pattern nicely. So that is definitely something that I'm looking forward to get done as well. It's insanely nice looking. Definitely a good solid design, one could say. So yeah, let's get cracking on this. Basically, let's see. Ta-ta, about there. And yeah, I don't pull from the crate anymore, but I think I may just as well lay this yarn ball down there to have a little bit control of it. And we are basically just needing to do all the way from here to the tip and then the other side, and then weave in this last end, because the other ends I already did weave in, if I do remember correct. And then we have to figure out what to do next. I do have some options laying that we can work on, of course, because I do not expect this to take the whole stream of today. I expect that maybe in an hour and a half or so, with luck, we should be done. And as I said, I'm just cracking on here. Today here in the Netherlands, it's nice and sunny. It is definitely cooler than it has been a couple of weeks ago. Still around 20 some odd degrees, like so begin 70s, maybe mid 70s at best. And I'm kind of all right with that. I don't need desperately that has to be 80 plus degrees Fahrenheit, because that's just in my world a bit too hot. Let's see if Nightbot wants to share the weather with us here in the region. Should be willing to, technically speaking. Weather here in Nijmegen, so not so far from where I am, is a bigger city called Nijmegen. That is where I pull the weather from. The condition is partly cloudy with a temperature of 7 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius. The wind is blowing from east northeast at 12 miles per hour, and the humidity is 47. That's probably pretty accurate. Yesterday was also reasonably dry, so that was nice. But I do see that they have promised us some rain this coming week from Wednesday and then basically all the way through the weekend. That said, after Sunday, I don't really care about the weather down here because I will be somewhere else. The weather in New Jersey today, right now, is sunny with a temperature of 63 degrees Fahrenheit, about 17 degrees Celsius. The wind is blowing from west-southwest at 2 miles per hour. It's almost wind still, I'd say. And the humidity is 100%. Wow. Did it just rain, or is it all the duck from the morning duck from the night or something like that? Because 100%, that's almost sounds like it has to be a mistake when it's sunny. I mean, that's crazy. Almost think that you were at Waco at Rose Place. But yeah, so what I did yesterday, I could technically have finished this shawl yesterday, because I would have been really good at weighing the yarn, but I hadn't made the cake easy to move and to weigh and so on. So I crocheted this bit. So I already done this. This is a bit I've frogged, and I ended up at the tip. I saw how it was caving in, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wind it up. and then I weighed the yarn I had wound up, which was about half a side I would use left, and I had still like close to 10 grams. I was like, oh, I have more than enough. So I actually ended up frocking back to weigh the yarn fully, but also because what I had done was when I started on this row, because this is an increase row, and I didn't increase because I was concerned if I didn't have enough yarn to finish the row. So I was like, okay, I'll make it with non-increases, because what is that the prior row, and I'll have to better show it over here. The prior row, you can almost look at also on the photo. I just have this single strand, and I'd like to have a little bit extra support on it for when it gets blocked and so on. And I thought that might be nicer. So I wanted to make sure I had enough yarn to get all the way around. And the yarn usually, so like I'm at a place where I get about a row and a half with the color changes, and I had a color change around halfway through, so I knew it was going to be like a close call. But it wasn't as close as I thought it was going to be. So I decided to frock it back, because on my estimate, and definitely also with the yarn I frocked back and so on, I should have enough yarn to do what I'm doing now, which is basically just following the pattern still, 100% to the limit. Susan says, maybe it rained overnight. Yeah, I don't know if it did. Maybe it did, Susan. Who knows? If it has, maybe it was just like a so slight drizzle that you didn't really feel it rained. I mean, or hear it at least. I can sleep through rain sometimes. Also, not always. I mean, last week it was so bad weather one evening, Thursday evening last week, I was getting deaf from the thunders. So, sometimes weather is a bit unpredictable, especially with how rain sounds. We do have like, when it rains heavily outside, we can sometimes hear it because we have a little build out here down in the living room, where there's also some rooms and so on. So it gets a little bit more space in the living room actually. And that's just plain roof. There is like no floors above it. And when it rains heavily, we can hear that on that piece, because it hammers straight down on them. It doesn't hit the roof first, so to say. But yeah, sometimes the rain can fall so hard and quickly, and so massive drops that you can really hear it. Then the rain on its own is almost like thunder. Also, of course, I do have tea, because it's cold enough again for me to drink lots of tea. That's wonderful. And yeah, that means that I am almost finished with a cake again this month. That is going great on the consumption bit of my stash. Which means that if I keep up this pace, I may be set to break a yarn consuming record of 2026. That, in other words, I used more yarn in 2026 than any of the prior years where I've actually actively measured it. But I don't know. We'll see if I keep it up. That's kind of the question, I guess. Can I actually still keep this up? And I also indeed looked in my, I have a place where I have some hooks stashed, and I did find my hooks. So the excuse I thought I had to buy new crochet hooks, I don't have that excuse anymore, because I do actually have the hooks down to a 2mm. That said, if I need a smaller hook than a 2mm, then I will need to go buy hooks. So I don't even have an excuse to buy crochet hooks. Isn't that a shame? I mean, no excuse to buy yarn, no excuse to buy hooks, no excuse to buy anything. On the other hand, it's probably a great thing for my financial outlook. I mean, it means it means that I have more savings for a future lovely project. Good morning, Rev. Good morning. As you can hear, I am on the last row of the Veilwyn Shawl. This, my friend, is the last half row I just entered because we just cornered the tip here, and then I am done. I don't have much yarn left. I really just have this. So it feels like yarn chicken, and I should have enough yarn. I should be left with a little bit of yarn. I also found the other skein, the last bit of the skein, and it was as I unfortunately predicted. That is the colorway that's up here. So the slight ever bit so lighter teal. I think it might be a bit difficult to see on camera. But as you can see, there's like, we have the very bright one, but it goes then into this darker teal, which is about right here before it goes into the very dark one. So the color change, it goes from here to the next here. That's that teal. So you can actually almost see the difference if we look kind of like here. There's a slight ever so. Yeah. So it's ever lighter. So obviously I couldn't use that if I needed to extend it. So that idea flew away, but I did find it this weekend, and I checked and I looked and I was like, "Oi, sorry, that's not gonna work." So that was easy enough. I knew that I had to pay attention to whenever I only had whatever is left here, and I needed to make sure that I did not have to frog back because I would end up with like this too short or whatever. But I did calculate and count and measure, and with a bit of luck, this feeling of yarn chicken is not really yarn chicken, and I should be left with a couple of meters of yarn, which then just will go in my scrap pile, and then I have used a whole cake. And that, my friend, is cool. I mean, it's like 8.8 ounces or something like that of yarn in like one go. Yeah, 8.8 ounces to 1,093 meters or yards, sorry. Plus whatever white, of course, was also in. But I didn't calculate that away because there is still more than a full skein there, or not a full skein, but a half a skein. So that just goes back into my stash. So that is pretty awesome. And I'm expecting this not to take all too long before we're finished. And then I'll need to block it, but that's not going to happen today. I hope maybe, I don't know if I'll find some time tonight or tomorrow to get it blocked, because it would be really awesome if I had finished the blocking before needing to record the yarn talk video for when I'm away. And then we can really display it when it's been blocked. Meanwhile, Rev says I got another skein onto my blanket, 3 more to go, hoping to have it finished by the end of the month. Well, the end of the month is next week, Monday, so you have another week, my friend. And I would say if you just take it easy, that should just be doable, right? No need to aggravate your arms or shoulders, given the fact that they are currently complaining a little bit too much about you have been crocheting a lot. Here it's definitely, I'm pleased with the progress I've made over the weekend. And yeah, I was almost finished and then I decided I could actually make it a bit better based on the yarn I had left, and I frogged that last half row back and I started on it again, and I do believe it is turning out better. I kind of hoped if I cut a few stitches I would definitely have enough yarn, and as I said, I weighed the yarn halfway and concluded I had more than enough yarn, so I just frogged it and went back with the original pattern, and that is what we are doing right now. It's hard to work on it though, between my shoulder, which has been getting better, which is good, and the fact that the temperature yesterday was 108. That sounds really warm under a blanket. Yes, I mean, that sounds no fun. That is where you're being like, air conditioning would be nice now. Air conditioning is also going to be a real thing here. Still waiting to hear, of course, if they're going to give me a permanent contract, and if they do, trust me, the air conditioning unit will be ordered when ready. Our poor AC has been getting a workout over the last 25 days. Yeah, it sounds like it, because you're like constantly above 90s, right? Phew, it's been 103 or more every day. Yeah, that's insane. You have solar panels also? Like to help cover the electricity bill? We have solar panels, and we're quite happy with them, except they are not giving the same rendement anymore as they used to. Of course, they're not doing bad, but I mean, it's definitely different. But yeah, ours is more like for next year. And for the winter, it can, of course, help heat up. So we will need to use less gas, which would definitely also be a good thing, because that's also getting quite expensive. A combination of the fact of the Russia-Ukraine issue, and of course just generally that uh, it depletes more. But also I think it's a good thing to use less of it, because that hopefully helps us with fewer emissions. Rev says we have 50-year plus old trees around us, so there is nowhere to put up solar panels. The tree do keep the house a bit cooler, as it is not in the direct sun. Yeah, okay, that's a challenge then. And you don't like have like a shed that's not necessarily under the trees where you then could place them? I do believe it is only skip one. Let's see. Also, for those curious, this is row, I think, 48, 49, 49. So using a solid color before adding a full cake gives you 49 rows, at least. That would be my assumption, should I make this one again. Yep, 49 is the row I am working on. Blah, blah, blah. Skip 1, double crochet, blah, 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 chain 3. Knickety knack. Skip one. That's what I did. Yeah. Okay. We should be good. We should be good still. So what do I have we can work on once done with this? I do have my tiny scraps as if I want to make more of those tiny octos, whales and stuff like mini amigurumi. But I also have found my 3 skeins for a rib knit beanie. And that is a beanie that I was thinking I wanted to knit before going to Denmark. So this week. The scraps is more like if I want to do some crochet bit. And of course we have the waterproof shawl. But I mean I need to look carefully at that. So I'm not sure if that is a great stream project, as that may require me to think a little. Oh, it's a butterfly. I was like, something is flying outside, but it's a big white butterfly. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. We had a solar company give us an estimate, and the guy said, don't even bother. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Oh, that's kind of sad, though. But yeah, it's not good if you have shades and you have like, yeah. It just makes sense if you really have a roof in the sun. Ours is, so. And we have been rather happy with it. I mean, now it just proves that we don't get the same. So the rules once were that if you had solar panels, you could get electricity back from like you would send your surplus into the electric circuit, and for that surplus you had, you would get paid a minor amount, which then could be counted towards the payments you had to make. For example, if you were using power outside of the solar hours, so to say. Of course, that would never be the same. You would always receive less um, than you would have to pay for, because you are not supposed to be an electric company, I guess. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. The thing is now, even though our solar panels are getting rather old, I mean, they're 13 years, they are right now still generating more power than we can use when the sun is shining as today. So right now, technically, I should then go ahead and do my vacuum cleaning and run everything that I need to actively run because of electricity, like washing machine and all that shizzle. That would be a sensible thing to do. But yeah, we are not. I guess it's also the right time to charge your car if it's electrical. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I am thinking right now that my arms are getting slightly chill. Who would have thought? So I am just gonna take on my my vest to help my chilled arms along. we are back. So that's why I kind of wanted to add the extra row. I said, like, I'd like to have these extra help support for just the strand between the tips. I think it makes it for a nicer ending project. Would it have been super nice if I could have done a row or two more? Yes, I can't, so I'm happy it just ends like this. That's feeling all right as well. And indeed, it would be quite nice if I could indeed find time to either. I'm not sure if I'll do it tonight though. Maybe I could do it tomorrow morning. Get the blocking done. In the end, it's just a question of prioritizing a few things. That would be rather cool. Two and three. One, two, three. So yeah, we're just doing these tips and then we're done. And then the Veilwyn Shawl just can wait for its blocking. Crazy how it flies and goes, huh? I mean, that is awesome. Can't believe we're almost complete. I can feel like even though I'm pulling down here, we still have this bit of yarn left. I can feel this, that it drags a little bit. So I'm putting it back up on the table. I think it's easier. You could always go back to the white if you really want an extra row or two. Yeah, I think just the contrast would be too big, but maybe it wouldn't be too bad. But I mean, I'm still quite happy with how it ends. And I think the blocking will tell us quickly enough if it works out or not. So if I finish today, then I could hopefully, today or tomorrow. I'm uncertain if tonight would make sense time-wise, or if it would be better for me to do it tomorrow morning. Also depends on, yeah, a few things. But, I mean, I kind of want to take a walk this evening because it's nice weather, right? And exercise is good for me. And then I'm a little bit back to tomorrow morning, would probably be the better. Of course, depends on how long my walk is. But yeah, bottom line, we need it blocked. And then what's happening? I think I am likely going to offer it up for sale. Because I can make it again, and I don't need this many shawls. Well, also need to look for a new shawl I can make for future projects. Ta 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 ta. I mean, if you have any ideas. Racine, hello, good morning to you. Wonderful to see you here. I hope you had a great weekend. What did I want to do? Thank you. It is quite gorgeous. It's going to be 105 this evening. Oh, blah. Rev, no, this was not as difficult as the hat collectors. The hat collectors was also 2 more full cakes. This is just 1 cake and a bit, so it feels a lot less sad. I wonder what happened here because it feels like my whole screen is like dusty. So I'm just trying to see if this happened or if this helped. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't feel clear. Like it doesn't feel as good as it normally is. My camera. I'm sorry about that. Maybe, I don't know if I can check the light of this. Let's just see. We need to go all the way light. Go back. This looks a bit better, doesn't it? Yeah, we are back on the focus. Yeah, that looks a bit better on the focus. Maybe it was just too bright. Racine had 2 days off. Husband drives semi-truck. Ah, okay. And Ref and Racine, you guys came in a bit later, so I just want to quickly share the flat lay before I started working on today. Serves a good block for really showing the pattern well off. So that is what I'll be doing. Thank you, Rev. Well, you kind of sort of did help because you suggested this cake, right? So I mean, we were looking in my stash and we decided that this cake was actually a good choice. So that is what happened, technically speaking. I could be tempted to get another of those rub and cream twister cakes to make one with, but nah, we're fine. For now, at least. I mean, I have so many other things we need to do. So many other projects lined up. We talked about last week, funnily enough, about platter, right? We were like looking at platter cakes and so on. And I told you guys, if I just put stuff in my cart and like don't buy anything, I'll get a discount voucher. I did. I have one in my inbox giving me 10% off if I want to make an order at platter. But I'm like, not gonna get Stanley cakes right now because I mean I have enough, and the problem is that's 200 euros of yarn to get free shipping, and I absolutely refuse to pay for shipping. And I don't need to buy for 200 euros of yarn right now. I have more than enough other things I could do instead. But it's a possibility. Oh, you're not sure what happened? There was no sound when I went to the picture. Oh, that's odd. There should have been sound when I went to the picture. Normally there is. Normally there is. Racine says you crochet beautiful work. Thank you so much, Racine. I always love a good compliment. Who doesn't? We should be appreciative of those. Rev make gorgeous work too. He's the blanket master here, by the way. As in, he makes a lot of blankets. Well, these days a bit less, but when he's fit for fighting shape, he will make blankets weekly. He wants. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. I've put a kilo of yarn on this current whip, so that ain't nothing. Oh no, yeah, that is a fair bit. Stina, I can relate to work and lots of craft needing to get done. Yeah, actually, I'm not having that many VIPs at the moment as I used to have. I have decreased my VIP amount. I currently only have 2 active whips, including this one. Well, yeah, well, active whips. I do have another whip which is being repurposed. And I've been debating if I need to make a video about it or if I just need to do it. But I mean, it's not like it's just one project. Maybe I could, maybe, I don't know. I'll think about it. It's not going to happen before early September anyway that I start on this. 5 cakes at 200 gram each adds up. Definitely does. As I told you guys, I still have this crazy idea for a poncho with yarn that is basically like a mandala dupe, which I may just need to get. And the thing is, I'll need to color control it, so I will have to like cut it up and stuff like that. But I am tempted. I think it could probably be done with 3, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it could be done with 3. Oh, no, Stina, what are you doing? You're starting on front post, but I'm not needing to make front post. It's just regular double crochets. Let's just chill for a second. Yeah, they are all good, so it's not that difficult. Making regular double crochets. Yeah, that was better. Do you want to make a granny square poncho for the wife? I'm sure she would appreciate it for the cooler evenings. You know, not right now, but in a few months' time when it gets a little bit cooler temperature. You have a bag of squares just sitting around so you could join them up. Ha, so you're almost complete with the project. I guess it's always good to find, you know, a purpose for your scraps. That's why I say, like, I have this, I have the, oh, gee. I have the ends from when I've been making scrunchies. And I could make these, you know, more of these tiny fellas. I think they're cute. Could definitely make more of them. And that's also some of the things I've brought here. So we could do that, or we can start a beanie. Or I need to be forced to look into the water pearl shawl. But I think for the water pearl shawl, I'll be better off not doing it on a live, but just have the time to sit down and look at it on my own. one. They were going to be a blank, but I have not really been making them for a while. I did a lot when Jan was doing his Taco Tuesday challenges. Ah, on that note, I watched his video from the ice hall where I'm like, oh, I want to get yarns from ice. But that's more because I want to buy yarn, not necessarily because I need yarn. It's just this itchies because I haven't bought yarn for a long, long while. I mean, it does give me the cripples in the fingers. But the reality is I really should not be getting it. Speaking of Sean, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, he's hosting a Donna and Fran for another blanket showcase, and I have a pretty big box of blankets. Ooh. Well, 7 p.m. tonight, I'll be asleep. Definitely if it's your 7 p.m. I mean, that's 2 a.m. my time. I will be sweet dreaming about whatever, like about how long I can sleep, hopefully, and future ideas and stuff like that. And then I'll wake up the next morning being like, oh, jeebus, I do have to go to work. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. There is always the replay, that's true. I can definitely consider giving the replay a watch. Odyssey blanket. I am crocheting 2 of Jan's I'll just wind down and try again. Racine says, I'm crocheting 2 of Jan's blanket, Rodney, right now. Need to get done the Odyssey blanket. Okay. I haven't really done any of his blankets, I shall admit, but I'm also not a really big blanket crocheter. I've seen some of the hooked with sunshine blankets, and she makes some pretty gorgeous, intricate designs. Where I'm like, I could maybe. I think I'm not sure, but I think some of them could be great, maybe with the big platter muffin cakes I have. That's maybe a good idea. I mean, gotta find something useful for it. Donna is one of my favorite people. She's such a character. The Stitch Odyssey was really fun to make. Ah, yeah, it's always great to have funny characters. I guess I'm not characteristically funny enough. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I am. Ooh. What I wanted to find. I probably need to get on Ravelry for this. But guys, honestly, I get distracted and look at how little I have left here. Should we agree? We can get distracted once I'm done. And look how much yarn I have left. So we are definitely able to finish up this. It's not even yarn chicken. I mean, I almost feel like I could do another row, but I am not too sold on that. I think I will then end on a real yarn chicken issue, so to say. And I'd rather not. It would be absolutely horrible to exactly not have enough yarn to finish. We have a shirt photo. Let me get it open. I just need YouTube to collaborate with me. We'll flip over for it to be shown. Here we have Yuan's Odyssey. Oh, well, it's Rev's version of Yuan's Odyssey blankets. It's a nice size. That is definitely a nice size. I recall we have seen this spring. It's like in June? May? June? Maybe I remember wrong. Not impossible either. We do have a big truck outside my window right now. He's picking up a container, so if it's a bit noisy, I do apologize, but he should be gone in 5 minutes. Racine is learning lots of new stitches. That's always awesome when we learn new things. You know, we aren't old to learn new things. It's just a habit that's a bit more difficult with age to learn. It's a queen-sized bed. Okay. May 23rd, but seemed relevant for the conversation. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like being like was back in May, April, May or June. Yeah. So I was right in my memory. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I could probably have looked at a date, but I didn't actually. It was just my memory. So, hey, I still remember things. That's a good thing. Yeah, I really don't think there is enough yarn on this to do another row. I am tempted, though, to find my weight scale to compare. But I mean, anything below 5 grams won't make it. And ideally, I would need probably closer to 7. I'm not even sure. Was it 12, 13? I don't remember the exact weight when I had frocked it. The only huge blanket I crocheted is from cotton. It was a big, heavy blanket, so I kept it, but haven't used it yet. I dread washing a big cotton blanket, and that is why it's still sitting folded up. Well, Fleur is still laying on the couch over there, and that is not going anywhere. That is a piece of love, project-wise. I mean, looking at the amount of hours I put into it, it's not even realistic to. Like, I'd rather keep it then, because I don't think I'm gonna make it again. Too much work. And I think only the last couple of months last year, that was the only thing we did on the stream, right? We worked on Fleur. So I guess it's kind of nice to have a few more different things to do. Is that we do have yarns for a beanie, and then we have some for the mini octos. We are going to dazzle a little bit into some patterns in a few to give them a look. I do want to make the next shawl I will be making is a KME crochet shawl. I just haven't decided on the yarn I'll use, and I need to decide on when to start. But it's in any case first going to be after I get home, so in September at the earliest convenience. And it's just, yeah, I will be gone for a week in September, and I will still be crafting, but I'm not gonna bring a cake with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Because I'll be flying. So I really feel I should weigh up what's left just to see if I could do one more row. Because if I wait afterwards and I conclude that I could probably have done one more row, then I'll regret not having done it before I cut the yarn. But I feel reasonably secure there is not enough to complete another full row. That said, we are gonna wait just to make sure, just to be 100% sure that there is nothing for me to regret. But I mean, I would be very much unhappy to miss the yarn to be able to finish up the shawl. And I don't think it's worth an hour and a half of work to find out. Then I'd rather play safe than sorry. Oh, it kind of ran under my computer, the ball. And let's see, I need one more stitch. And then we should go into the last stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. But yeah, big cotton projects, they can be really heavy. That is certain. Good, that was maybe, potentially, the last stitch. I'm just gonna find my weight scale because I am gonna have to weigh that ball. So hang up for a second, it's just over here. So I'm just picking it up so we can actually find out if I am indeed being a sensible person. So we are zeroing it out. We are on grams. And as I say, we need probably 7 to 8 grams to ensure there's definitely enough yarn. There's 8. Oh, guys, is it worth it? The problem is I don't remember what the way were before. When I were halfway through, I had about 10 left. But I didn't weigh this one halfway through. Guys, am I going to do one more row or not? Ooh. 10, I'd definitely do it. 8, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure. I would say 7, which is even less. Yeah, I think we'll be cut short. Also, that is based on the experience I have with crocheting back and forth. All the color changes. It could be that the last color here is a bit longer, but all the color changes we've had so far for the last couple of rows here. So these few color changes where you barely see the color changes, but it does change. It goes darker. They have been a row and a half long, and we are a bit further than a row and a half, so the color change is a bit longer. But how much longer? I'm not sure if it's worth it. I'd rather be safe than sorry, because let's face it, if I work an hour and a half and I conclude that we are going to be, let's say, this much short, I'll have to frock it, and that is a shame of my time, our time. It's not fun to watch me frock stuff. I mean, I get sad, you get sad, we all get sad. So I think we are indeed just calling it the end. That's also I sort of predicted before the stream that I was working on the last row. And I think this is still what we are going to be doing. I am not 100% sure there's enough yarn here. And therefore, I'd much rather just put this into my scrap pile of yarn. And see where that comes from, so to say, and keep that as is. So that is what I'll be doing. I will be cutting the yarn and weaving in the end. Yes, that seems the absolute best choice. Well, now it's done, so if the choice wasn't good, it's just too bad. Oop. So that is what we have left, like 7 grams of 250 gram skein. That's not too bad. And let's see if we can find my darning needle. My hook I barely need anymore. I do need it just to close down this, because I do take the yarn and I do pull it through to help tie a knot like that. Hook can't go away, and we can go and find a darning needle. The other end is also done, so we can also take out this stitch marker. And then it is time to weave in that only last single end. Crazy, huh? We are done and complete. I will, of course, get up and show you guys to see if that, I'm not sure if it can be in the camera view actually, but I will give it a try for you guys to see. I will try to see if I can hold it up. But oh my goodness, we are complete. We just need to get it blocked. I mean, that's pretty nice. Make sure it does not on itself. That is something it seems to be wanting to do. Then it is time to get into these stitches. But yeah, so that pretty much got us to the end of the shawl, guys. I am so happy. And of course, there is a tiny chance that maybe I would have had enough yarn, but I mean, it is insanely close to what would be sensible to do. So yeah, we decided against it. Maybe, so what I could do, if I do this one again, then I will be a bit better at weighing it up when we get closer. Or maybe I will use yarn in a different colorway, whereas it would be so much easier to do. But yeah, it's about being happy with the outcome, and that I am. I am rather satisfied with the outcome of this. Good. We should maybe should we not? Yeah, we should, I guess. Just give it a few stitches back. And pull it a bit as if it was getting blocked already. And then we cut yarn. Ta-ta! Done and dusted. That means, guys, blanket complete. Well, I always wants to just talked about blankets. I mean, shawl complete. Shawl complete. Sweet. That would be this side. and this side. So what we'll do now is we will get myself up. So maybe if I do like this instead, it might not be the best camera, or we'll flip over. I think that's better. Better get me on the good camera when showing this. I think that's fair. It needs to do it justice. And let's see if I can do it justice. It's definitely nicer when it's flat laid, but yep, we're completed. And it's quite similar to the hat collectors, but it is not the hat collectors. Gorgeous. We are done. I just need to get it blocked. That will definitely give us more size. That will increase both height and width a bit, because with the back post, front post, there is definitely a little bit stretch to be gained, so it will definitely grow in size. Yeah, I'm super happy with the outcome. I am happy with how the white goes into slowly into the teals. I am happy we took the off-white solid to work into this. I mean, yeah, there is nothing not to like. This is what I had left from the solid skein, from the twister, which was into this one. Hobby twister, gone. So there's a bit of scrap to my scrap list of things. I mean, I do have a little bag where I collect all of those yarns within that sort of yarn spectrum. And for the twisters, it's the same as the flowers from yarn art. And I don't know, maybe I'll also make like one big pile of that at some stage, and then I'll make a scrap basket from strings of twisters and flowers. Because I do have enough of them. It'll just take a long time before we get there, right? Rev says, what do you think you would be charging for it? I might be interested in buying it. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'll need to do math. I'll need to do math. Question is, do you want it including excluding shipping? Give me a hot moment, please. But it's gonna be fair in any case, I think. The only question is if it's gonna be including or excluding. I could probably do an including shipping. Maybe it is, depends on what it comes out on. I just need to do. Ooh, my goodness, they are really on sale now, the twisters. Sweet. They're 12. Just item cost, shipping is whatever it is. True. I think it will likely come out to something along, probably around like, good question, somewhere between $80 and $90. I'd be okay with. I need to get it blocked and thrown up. But I can, if you want me to, send you an email when I made like final math on it. I could do that. Ooh. Did they? No. Yes. I'll email you. No worries. Definitely I'll do. I might still have it from when you purchase the scrunchies. I should still have it. If you use the same email then. But I'll mail you. I want to get it blocked first and do a few things before I'll even get that far. So so yeah, I'll make sure to mail you. Absolutely no worries on that. Good. What I wanted to do. Crazy. I'm finished. I'm like empty hands. I guess we all like, yeah, this weird funky feeling. What I wanted to do was actually I wanted to pop us over to Ravelry because we were talking about blankets at some stage, and she's named Hooked with Sunshine, if I'm not wrong, or Hooked on Sunshine. Yeah, Hooked on Sunshine. She makes these absolutely freaking gorgeous blankets, like doodad and stuff like this. Like there's some really, really gorgeous blankets in between. Oh, this is cool. Owly cow. Oh, that's cool. There's an owl on it. Okay, but the doodad is one of the shawls that I at some stage want to make. I'm not sure if she could be American, but I mean that's gorgeous. According to this, about 200. So there could be. There's just about not enough on a uh on the on the muffin cakes, but the pattern is adaptable, so maybe. But this one is cute. I mean, come on. That's cute. That is cute. Like, that's cute. I could definitely see myself making something like this. But that takes a fair amount of more yarn also. I mean, that is a fair bit of yarn. But it's sweet. But she has a few very nice patterns. Also, Fairy Tales is also a nice pattern. So she definitely has a few nice patterns in between. So I could imagine myself saying, okay, that is one I could imagine myself jumping into. So what I would want to do if I head that direction is to ensure that I would have enough yarn to then do it. What did I want to look for? Didn't I find one? Fairy Tales? Yeah, this one is Fairy Tales. So that's also like a bit more than 2,000 meters. So, but I can say the original design is 98 by 98 centimeters, including the border, but that pattern is adaptable. But yeah. colors for natural designs cotton. Ooh. So this is... Oh. Yeah, that's definitely color controlled. I don't know. You could probably do like this also with mandala yarns or something like that. I mean, it's gorgeous, but yeah, it's still like a big project because it's gonna be a lot of yarn. And yeah, no, not right now, I think is my conclusion. Maybe later, maybe later. So the real question is, what are we gonna do? Am I going to cast on a hat? I want to start the ribbon beanie sometime this week, so it's just a question if I cast it on now or if I cast on tonight. And the other option, what we can do is we can start making these fellas because I have still yarn left from the scrunchies. So here is a lot of different yarn of, well, you can't see actually, I realize. I'm just gonna fold down. Maybe that's better. I'll go back to the dual camera view and get you guys down. Then you can see what we're talking about. Talking about stuff, but not showing. So we can start making these. Easy to make. I have everything for it here next to me, including velvet yarns. All of these velvet yarns, there's enough to make one of these, but not more than that. And there is not enough to make a scrunchie. So I need to make something with them. Optionally, I've also been debating because I do have some whites. I could take some of those like more different colors and make whales with them. A bit uncertain on that, but that's one option. And the other option is, as mentioned, to cast on a bucket, another bucket hat, a rib knit beanie. And here, these yarns you know from the spring, because we were making rib knit beanies this spring or early spring. February, maybe? Actually, I think it was in February now, and I'm thinking about it. March, it was. No? March, April. April. I did some of them. January, we did some. With kind of like over the spring. These are the last two I have left from this mixed ice lot. And it's Millens. And then I had this one from Fleur. This is actually the yarn I used to make Fleur with. But thickness wise, it comes very much out of this, like the same, similar. And I think this works great together. I do have one full cake left of this white, should I need it. I ended up caking it up back then. So if I just dig a little bit into that cake, that's going to be fine because, I mean, it's just in my pile in any case of yarns. And what I can do if I do this rib knit beanie is that I use up these two and they are gone and done from my stash. So that is kind of my plan right now. That is where we're currently looking. So yeah, that is my thought. So yeah, what are we doing? Are we gonna do amigurumis? Woohoo! Not my strongest suit. Or am I gonna knit? And I did bring the knitting. And what I also brought with me, because they are gonna go on these yarn spindles, one each, to help control my yarn for while I am knitting. That will make my life a lot easier, trust me. Talking of experience, I've done this before when I'm doing the triple stranded. I've also just pulled from the skeins as this. But this is an option. What I also have is I went through my little stash of crochet hooks, and these are the small hooks that I still have. And there is a 2mm, there is a 225, there's a 2.5, and there's a 275, and they are all still in their packages. And that is why I did not have them in my little pouch here, because it's not that often I need this small hooks. But we are gonna bring these with me to Denmark, because there we are gonna head into doilies. We are gonna start on those the pumpkin one, because my mom found some yarn that I could use for it, so I didn't have to buy yarn. Haha. So I will be helping my mom to decrease her stash. So I will be bringing those with me. I probably have to take them out of these first, so they take up the space. But as I said, I cannot with these go and buy a new one because I have. So I'll just bring it with me. Rev is suggesting us to a knit hat, or he thinks knit hat, and I think that's a good idea because I need to cast it on regardless. I mean, I want to get it done because the idea of getting these done from my stash really speaks to me. Winter is coming, so all of the rib knit beanies, I really need to this autumn get some photos taken of them and throw them on the website as well. That is something I genuinely want to do also, because reality is just I have so many laying around and I'm not active enough getting them on my website, which is actually really bad business. I mean, I can do better. I can and I should do better. I did leave the labels here because obviously I wanted to know what yarn I had caked up. This I know what is, but that has actually already been considered as a consumed cake. That was my, for Fleur. So that is from Stylecraft, Special DK. So this is a DK yarn. They're all 100% acrylic. I just don't know exactly further than that, but this feels like a sort of a premium acrylic as well. This is a premium acrylic, but they all feel, and they also have similar softness, but they don't completely have the same, like when I really look at the strands, the white is, this is like smoother, thinner textured. So yeah, I suspect this is actually a premium acrylic too, but I don't know because the label doesn't say. The label just, the label that around it isn't even the real label. It's label that it came with because of these being middle ends. Then it's a little bit like of a, this is maybe what you had feeling. So now we're just collecting these ends, and then I need to decide what I'm going to do. I should probably put them on the yarn spindles. I can always take them off again if I don't like it, right? So maybe that is what I should do. Put them on the yarn spindle, one each. Oh, this doesn't go as smoothly on. That was better. You remember I made the purple with okay, they twist opposite, but it's what it is. So I made the one with the dark blue and the teal and the orange. That turned out gorgeous. I also made one with, I think, was it orange, purple, and teal? Or was that the dark blue? Or was it the purple, teal, and dark blue? It's upstairs. I should know that. Okay. So we need, I do have stitch markers. And I need an end cap. Quite sure this is my short one for these hats. And we need our 8mm. Though I may end up switching one of them to the 7 for the easier sliding of stitches. And we need the piece that attaches. Make my life easy, please. But yeah, so I'm hoping and expecting to be finished with this hat this week. I mean, I am not the quickest knitter, so I should probably knit more. In hindsight. But yeah, as I said, not the quickest knitter. Oh. But that's all right. Knitting is a good it's a good couch project, and we do have couch stuff tonight. So I mean, it could work. It's just not ideal with 3 strands, so that might not be good. But we'll see. Maybe maybe I'll end up take them off the. We'll have to see. Like that. We'll just leave you here for a bit. Good. Then we can cast on. And then, what did I do with the other hats? I did cast on. Normally it is 56 stitches, but Stine, and it is divisible by 4, so you can add more. I've done 60 and 64 in the past. I think I will still cast on 64 for this one. Simply because it does allow for a little bit bigger head, I think. Or should I stick to 60? We are doing 3 strands of 3 strands of decay weight, so it does go in chunky. Let me see, what is it I need to do? Because I need to put that one over. Oh, it's so long time since I've knit a beanie. I mean, yeah, that's the right one. Good. How did I just do that? So I need to ensure whatever I do that the end I can pull in is this end, which is normally opposite, but I do it like this because of needing to flop it over. Good morning, Lisa. Lisa says, good morning. Please like and subscribe. Yes, please give me a like. Likes are, whoa, very much appreciated. You just came late. I just finished the Veilwyn Shawl. Woo. And we are casting on Rep Knit Beanie in colors orange, teal, and white. And actually, now you can really see the difference in yarn. Let's see if I can get it for you. I don't know if it will zoom enough. But you can see there is slightly difference between the white and the 2 others in how the yarn is made. But the difference is very slight, slim. The teal and the orange is a slight bit softer, but I know the white is also a premium acrylic, so they will be fine to combine. So I'm not too worried about that. And I should be really kind to Lisa and just quickly show the end version here. I may go out audio-wise, but we'll see. Yeah, I know why. I realize that I don't have any audio active on that screen. So that's why you don't hear any audio. I think there is audio, but there isn't, because I actually use it for something else normally, where audio is not practical. So we figured out why there was no audio before, even though I was like rambling along, just as if you could hear me. But yeah, I am really pleased with how it turned out. Rev says hello to Lisa. And Lisa says, I just had the grossest wake up. I woke up and saw a mouse run across my bedroom. Oh, wonderful. You know, you're in the middle of nowhere and the mouse is running around. Well, they could that in the city as well. But I mean, yes, Lisa. Well, it was a wonderful make. It was actually quite easy. I mean, once, like, it is not exactly a 5-row repeat, but you do get to understand kind of like the concepts of it after a time. So that's really nice. It is reasonably simple to make. It's definitely not difficult. I mean, if you can do patterns from Red Teapot Atelier, the Morpen design pattern here is an easy one. It's not as complicated. And she offers you both the full written pattern as well as she offers you a full diagram, so you can actually choose what you want to do yourself, whatever fits you best. So I think that's really nice that you can, depending on your own preference, if you want to follow the diagram or if you'd rather want to follow a written pattern. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I'm not wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8. We'll do 11 because we needed to do that. Not need to, but it's practical. 2, 4. No, not 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Then we'll head into, I think these are too small, aren't they? Or they're just fitting. No, they're too small. We need the green ones. We need the green ones. It's just to help me count, because I don't want to sit and count all the time. So we'll prep for the next cast on here. Like this. Then we know what's before that one is 11, even though I just count them as 10. Yarn bath almost. Should be impossible with a cake. I finished my squares for my Yorkshire blanket last night. Now it's a process to get them blocked before I join. Oh yes, I need to block the Veilwyn Shawl too. I definitely need to block it because, I mean, that will put it really into its glory. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably more than 6, isn't it? No, it is 6. 2. No, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh. Casting on is always for me a little bit of a tedious process. 8. 9. 10. Yay. Let's just double check. Probably an easier way to do this. In fact, nah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all the easy tips I need to get at a different stage. Yeah. Actually, I see the issue with that cake behind there. Okay, it's not gonna work as smooth as I had hoped. It's not worse, as I said, I can always just take them off these cake winders, binders, spinners. Susan has to leave. Take care, Susan. Wonderful to have you around with us today. I really appreciated your company. I hope you will have a great day. Maybe we'll still be here if you come back in at some stage. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches. Cool. We are on 30, so we are about halfway. Meanwhile, don't forget to hydrate. Today, my tea, I think we haven't even talked about it. It is my Droomvlucht tea, so Dream Flight. It's a loose tea blend with various different flavors, but mainly is strawberry leaves or strawberry petals, dried strawberry leaves, and saffron. And it's a comfy tea. Actually, it's a bit of a comfy tea. You know, it makes you feel nice and cozy and comfy, and it is indeed dreamy in the sense of maybe it gives me the dreamy moods. What should we dream of today? Win the lottery. 2, 3, 4. Oh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This goes smooth enough, so the cast on bit goes smooth, but the challenge is always they look really nice and dandy here, but when I really start knitting, it goes freaking nightmare. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, now it does want to do correct. Okay, whatever. We are at 40. So the real question is, do we stop at 60 or do we do 64? We should have enough to do 64 yarn, that is. I think it's not that much of a difference. I think it does give a little bit more room for larger heads. But 60 would probably also work fine. 2, 4, 5. Let's start by casting on the 60 and then we can make a decision. 2, 3. Don't get stuck under my computer. 4. I think we need one more cast on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we need one more. That's what I said. We need one more. 10. So that makes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We are 10 stitches short on 60. Did I do 60 in the old one? Do you guys remember? I've done 60 or 64. I've probably done 60 maybe. I don't know. We'll do 64. And yeah, as I said, normally there are 60. I think it's because, so my tension is a bit tighter, I think, than most. And that just gives a little bit more room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lisa says she has one more VIP she needs to finish before I'm letting myself start on something new. I think I should be able to finish it today. Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? So we need another 8 stitches in total. So let's just do those. But before I can do those, I need a little bit more yarn. Like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that should be 14 after that stitch marker. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 12 is 10, right? Let's try again. I can't count for the life of me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. Good. We have the correct amount of stitches cast on. What are we gonna do now? We are gonna ensure I have the right needle on the one side, on the other end. But then I need to decide if we may need to switch the needle I use here for cast on to a 7mm instead of the 8. And the reason for this is that makes the stitches slip a little bit smoother over them. So I may do that. I may just do that. Oop. I'm definitely happy I got these short ones, and I really enjoy them. So it's been a good investment. Stitch markers. You we can put away, and then we discussed me indeed putting on the 7 because I don't have a 6.5. But as I said, the key here to doing this, it makes the stitches slide smoother because the increase here is thinner on the 7mm, and it just makes it, it just makes it slide smoother. And this is where I knit from over to, because I am a right-handed knitter. So I do this just to make life a little bit easier for myself for slipping stitches over in the process. And I do know it's always a little bit of a fiddle in the beginning. So this is just for me. This is just saving my own life. Ta-ta. My knitting needle tips are 5 inches. I wish I would have gotten 3 or 4. I'm not sure how long these are actually. We'll have to check. We could check. but they are shorties. They are not as short as what can be obtained. Knit Pro. We can pop over. Color is freedom. You don't say. Needles. The ones I have are the Shadow Cubics from Knit Pro. Here you can see they have lots of options. There are the interchangeable ones, but I do have the short ones here. They're 4 inches. Those of mine. So you have the 5. I also have a 5-inch set upstairs. So the 5 ones I'll probably more likely use for bigger projects when I jump into the sweater world, where these 4 ones are much better for hats, or when you have shorter cables. So I have actually a set of each because, yeah, wow. But this is the set I have here is this short set. And I'm reasonably happy with it. I do also know that they have some non-interchangeable ones with shorty tips. And I have sometimes been debating if I should try them out. But I mean, it's not a desperate need I have. Good. So we get these a bit closer. And we need to get this a bit closer too. Because, how was it? Oh, I should have done it opposite. Dang it. Okay, that's not a big issue. I mean, what we are gonna do, or what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna slip one stitch over and then slip the other one over again to kind of join the rows. But the way I thought I had done it for the counting is not gonna be working exactly as how I thought I had done it. But that's just how it's gonna be. Ta-ta. So far so good. And then I should be able to pull that joint tight because I could, because that is because I did the right place to join. So what I want to do, I think I might have to put 2 stitch markers here to help me remember, because now the stitch markers will also help me remember when at least the first 2 or 3 rows, they will help me remember when I need to knit and purl. Because I always find the first row or 2 a little bit more challenging to remember what I was doing in that row. And it doesn't really kind of matter what you do, but I'll just do knit, purl, or if you do purl, knit, that's also right, but you need to keep doing the same. And if I know for every 10 that I start with a knit, but right now it's going to be, the first bit I'm going to be purling, and then I'm going to have to start with a purl if I do that, and that's fine. It's just the first couple of rows, but I should instead have added the extra stitch here for that counting bit. Apparently I remembered wrong. It's too long since I've been knitting a hat is the conclusion. I believe it's the last knit hat was in April. So apparently I've forgotten how to do it. So yeah, we'll do indeed knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. I mean, it's been too long apparently. Who would have thought? But I mean, again, I was knitting a bit as a child, but then I became a teenager and knitting wasn't super interesting. Then I did knit very shortly. I did knit a project for a friend's child, like a tiny scarf, and as a congratulation with your birth kind of thing. And then that was the last time I knitted, and that's like a long time ago. So I first really started knitting again about a year ago. So only for about a year I've been back into the knitting world of things. Pretty much I've always used the stitch marker, the first stitch when I'm making a hat. Yeah, I will also too. Now it's just temporarily gonna be 2 stitches. And when I've done like 2 rows, I'll remove one of them because then I can I'll remove all of these individuals. But I just the first 2 rows I like having them to help me easily see if I need to knit or purl because I can just count the stitches then instead. So that's what I'll do and have been doing. But yeah, so now I just need to remember on these bits, I need to start with a purl stitch rather than a knit stitch. And you can already see now, even though it was nice and loose, it's a little bit challenging getting back up on the needle. And that is also always for me, the first like 2 rows, it goes a little bit like not fully automatic. And then the tension kind of settles and then it's all fine. But the end product, you can't see it. So I don't know if it's just because it's the start or what it is. Who knows? Who knows? Meanwhile, my stomach is telling me it is absolutely dinner time, but I will have to tell my stomach it needs to wait another 2 hours. But it is definitely hungry. What is for dinner? We are gonna have pizzas tonight, pizza breads with meat and salads in them, like sort of a pork meat with a specific. I think there are Turkish herbs, spices. So it's not like gyros, but like the kind of concept, but it's Turkish. Um, it's rather popular here in the Netherlands. It's called shawarma. And that is what we will be having for dinner. I'll bake the meat or fry the meat on the pan, and we'll heat up the pitas and do it with a garlic sauce and stuff like that. These always have a stitch mark on the first stitch, regardless of what I'm making, unless I'm knitting flat. Like just back and forth kind of thing, or I guess it also always depends on the project you're making, if a stitch marker is needed or not, right? Some projects I have a lot of stitch markers in, and other projects I maybe only have one. I have more stitch markers here than I normally would have, but it's only the first couple of rows. In a few rows, we'll just have one. This is just for me easier keeping track on when I do. And it's basically just the first 2, maybe 3 rows. But I mean, it helps me to remember if especially now when we're talking, should I knit or should I purl? But even if I don't talk, I can mess this up badly. So I wonder if these colors, I think they're going to be fine together. It's a brighter hat because of the white. But I mean, I almost like the one with the dark blue better, but that's maybe just because I'm more into darker colors than lighter colors. And as I said, after the first row here, or first 2 rows, this will be a much smoother process also with the stitch markers. I'll start taking them out when we get a bit further. I'll do definitely another row first. We're not fully on the first row complete, but I mean, I know for a fact we will finish this hat this week. If I'll finish it on a live knot, I don't know. If I don't, I will have to find a new project for us to do. Or if I, yeah, that doesn't matter. I still need to make sure we have some projects laying, like ready to go-ish kind of thing. Now I'm in doubt here. Purl, knit, right? Yeah. Purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. I need to purl. Oh yeah, because it's opposite. Yeah, that's correct, because I have an extra stitch here. Yes. It's because the extra stitch I should have put on the other end instead. But I didn't. And that's the confusion. And then we have the new row, and we start with a purl. But then, after that first, we'll end up going back. Yeah. That is just to keep in mind. But yeah, round one completes. Heading into the next row. And we just need to get that row complete. Then I can also start seeing what I'm doing for stitches. Maybe one more row. We'll see if I need 3 rows. But then the stitches get a little bit easier to catch if I'm on a knit or purl row. And then I don't need the stitch markers to help me easily find out. It's just a quick guidance. And then we start with the, it's almost like the Dutch colors, except Dutch colors is like a more red. Well, they do have orange, and the teal is more like a blue, right? I have some pulled pork barbecue I made a couple of months back, and I froze it since it's too hot to cook. Going to have some coleslaw and sun chips with it. Oh my goodness, that sounds good. I have coleslaw in the fridge. I also have, I have a steak in the fridge too. But I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So we're gonna do steak tomorrow, but I'm not sure. Can I do coleslaw with the steak? I could, I guess. It feels a bit like why couldn't I? If that makes sense. But yeah, I should be able to do that. I'll have to check what my partner says. I got the coleslaw from the store actually, so I didn't make it myself. But it was on sale. Like I could like buy one get one for free. And I was like, for that price, I'll grab one. And they're still good for after also I get home, as long as they stay unopened. So that could also be an excuse to make some ribs when I get back home from Denmark. Oh. Need to remember to pick all strands of yarns with when you knit with multiple strands. And Lisa says it's kind of like your yarn, do what you want. True. True. Um, I think it's gonna be fine. I mean, I don't know what to use the yarn on anyway, if that makes sense. It's scraps. Um, so this is just, it will get out of my stash. The last 2 days we have done sandwiches and some nice honey and maple glazed turkey breast, some chopped cheddar, I think sliced, a bit of mixed greens on a dark rye bread with also sun chips. I think, when it's warm we also get a bit to do whatever we want. Yesterday I did easy food too. Who was like, we could also like do takeaway, and I like looked at my partner and said, nah, we're not gonna do takeaway because on Thursday and Saturday we're gonna eat out. We're not doing takeaway. That's not good for us. Plus, if you want to do takeaway, you gotta fetch it. And he's like, no, 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 no. I did fetch it last time. It's your turn. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. My turn. So I just found something easy to cook. And so I did, and it worked out nicely. So, okay, I should be able to now see what we're doing, but I'm just questioning if I should do one last row before I remove those stitch markers for easiness of things. As you can see, the yarn already slides much nicer and easier over my needles because we are no longer on that first dreadful row. The first row is always a fiddle for me. Sunday is my lazy day. I made hot dogs for lunch and then it was find Joan dinner day. Well, I was definitely also lazy, but I wasn't earlier in the day because I did go out and I walked almost 10 kilometers. So that's like what, 7 miles or so, maybe, with a friend. So we had a nice walk, but I just had like no energy to make complicated food or want to. I was just being like, nah, I'm not in the mood. And I didn't feel as hungry, but that's also probably because we did have a fair bit of food when we were at the family. I still want to call it barbecue, Rev. I'm sorry. Grilling event Saturday. And we had definitely plenty of food. And it started off with some afternoon tapas before the grill was turned on. So yeah. Today we'll have either chicken wings or shrimp ranchero. I haven't decided yet. Well, maybe just throw a dice and let the dice decide. That's something I could do at least. I mean, but I decided on the pitas because it's easy food, and easy food is good food for stream days. I still need to figure out what we're gonna eat on Wednesday though. I'm gonna see if I have things that's more or less pre-prepared, then it might still be easy to do. I mean, like, I have a few things where the ingredients are already kind of like ready to go, so I don't need to chop the veggies first and all that stuff. Like when I buy the green beans at sometime like buy a double portion because that's kind of what it comes in the package, the fresh ones. And then I'll chop off half of them for that day, and then if the other half I'd usually freeze in. So I'd have to check if I might have some in my freezer, because then on Wednesday I may option to make bobotie, which I then can use as a leftover for Friday's dinner, because there's always enough for leftovers, and that would be genius. And then there is no more cooking until Monday next week. Because everything else has kind of been planned in one way, shape, or another. I mean, Sunday I'll probably grab something in the airport or on my way. And Saturday we are heading out for dinner. We went to Walmart to grab a few things, mostly coffee creamer, and I wanted to grab a spare skein of this puzzle Sudoku yarn, just in case I run short or want a border. I may also have picked up a set of rainbow yarn with some white to make a donation blanket. Ooh. But in my defense, these 300 yard skeins were only $2.19. That's a good deal. Were they like were they on clearance or renewal, or like were they making room for new yarns, or why was it a good deal? Anniversary cakes. Yeah. Therefore, it's not regular price. Gotcha. Well, Walmart's own brand. Okay, now this now this hat is long enough for me to actually, it's curving up nicely. So I will start removing those stitch markers as we get to them. Then I'll remove the last one here when we get back there. Lisa's asking if Rev's Michaels have the new carrot cakes yet. And they have the anniversary cakes. The mainstays yarn is actually really nice. That's cool. I just hear often about it. I mean, that's the challenge of being European. I don't really have those yarns, so who knows? Maybe one day, if I'll ever get back to the US, well, I will, I'm sure. In a couple of years. I have, though, been busy in the draws for the tickets for the Olympics in Los Angeles. I mean, if I can get tickets for the right event, I will most definitely head over to Los Angeles during those times. But right now I am not, or either they're all sold out or they haven't been released yet. Every time I have a window, I've been looking, but I haven't really seen the ones I want in the specific events I want. And it has to be those events. I'm not just going for some random stuff. I don't have a desire or need for that. Then I'd rather just, I could have gone to Paris instead, I guess. So I am just holding my breath and keeping an eye out. That would be an excuse to go. If I get the right tickets, then we'll pop over. And otherwise, it'll probably be a couple of years still. I have a few other things I'd like to do before then, which also will cost a fair amount of money. No, I forgot to pull the stitch marker. Well, it's not a big issue. I mean, I can do it the next row. It's more like it was going so well removing them, and then I just flipped it over as easy peasy. Stitch marker gone. I just have one that I forgot to take over, but that's cool. I'll remember when we get there, I hope. Stitch marker. Do not remember to remove. I have one more coming up. And then maybe just to be sure, because I have the 2 here, I should probably let the 2 stay until I remove the last single one, so that I only have 1 left. Just so I don't get... Well, it should be easy to see though, because I mean, there is the yarn end at the beginning of the row to help you keep track. So it really shouldn't really be an issue. It should be easy enough. It's much softer than the Red Heart, and I'm not allergic to it. Oh, that's awesome. That's definitely a winner. It's very much a value acrylic, but very nice for the price. Yeah, I mean, we have some value acrylic here too, which is definitely nice for the price. Like the Seaman Royals or the Vibra Saskia yarns, they are like not even, yeah, they are probably maybe $1.50 at best for a full skein, 3.5 ounce skein. We may have to do a road trip in a couple of weeks. We'll find out by the end of the day. If we go, we'll be going to Calgary to get some legal done work for the Mexican embassy. Ooh. For the kids' school, kinda gotta get his Mexican passport. Exciting. Better have it done in good time rather than, you know, being too late. Good. So we could keep 1 stitch marker. Do away 1. Because, as I said, we do have the beginning threads here. It's not that difficult to find out. Ooh. Don't tangle yarn. And then we'll remove the other one when we get over to the other side. Yeah, because it was going to be like next year, right? That he was going to go to Mexico and school. My passport is good for another few years. I mean, my Dutch got renewed in 2024. Ooh, but my Danish, on the other hand, I need to get done next year. Oohoo, oohoo. That means that next year, maybe next spring, I may need to ensure that when I go there, that one of the times we will spend time on getting that renewed. I have a dual citizenship for those that's curious. I have both a Danish and a Dutch passport. And now we take the stitch marker out. Ta-ta, gone. But my Danish passport, I think, was issued in the summer 2017. So it's only valid until 2027, which is like next year. I'm like, holy smokes, it's already next year. So I probably need to prep to do that. So that is going to be next year. I don't want to do it now. I mean, if I renew it now, it's a year early and I just pay them extra money. So it would be better to do next spring to get it done then. So I think I'll do that. He wanted to go next year, but won't work. It's okay. He will still go. He just got it. He'll just go post grad. Yeah, okay. He just has to be a year patient, basically. But he'll be fine. Oh, I do have some more like variegated yarns that I think could be really nice as well for these beanies. I mean, I'm happy that we have 3 colors and not just 2. It does, like, if it was just 2 plain colors, that would be a bit boring. But I do have some more yarns which definitely could be double or triple stranded with where some of them are variegated. Or maybe those variegated could even be held together. That could probably also make some gorgeous stuff. Especially if I have no other plans for the yarn, then why not? Right now I don't. So here's my plan for the rainbow yarn. I'm going to make another corner to corner granny. I am just in that mood of late. Do a 12-inch stripes of each color, 3 up, 3 down, starting with purple, ending with red. Then do a 2-inch border in the white. Ooh, white border's always nice. You know, that can't completely go wrong. And row complete. Yay. But I'll just keep cracking on. I mean, we have a fair amount of stitches still to do. That's 11 inches. What do we have here? An inch at best? I don't know. I should maybe just for funsies measure, but we're not close. You guys know as good as mine. Yeah, a bit more than an inch. An inch and a quarter. But as I said, I'm not the quickest knitter. Maybe that's why these rib knit beanies, and they're a little bit chunky because they knit up faster. That is what kind of speaks a bit to me. I mean, it's always nice when things go quicker, right? And then I do have some other things I'd like to try out, like knitting wise. Plus, I have this idea, but if it's like gonna work in practicality, I don't know. But that will be on thinner needles than this because that's not gonna be triple stranded. And if it works, I do want to see if it's possible to do that with some different yarns too, and then cast down that as a design. But right now it's just in my head. I have lots of things in my head going on. Which all needs to be turned into reality at some stage. More importantly, if I were to make patterns, I would probably also need testers to help me test to ensure that it's actually not totally utterly weird shit that I write. I still need to make that shirt for the wife, but I have no motivation to make something she won't wear until it cools down some. We'll mess with it when we're in the low 90s next month. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I have so many things I want to make sweater-wise, but I'm also not doing it. And a part of me don't want to do it because I am, as you guys know, trying to diet. And it was actually going really nicely. Now we are a little bit on a standstill, and now we are heading into back, hopefully going nicely towards the end of the week. Would be nice. Another reason for me to get out and move tonight, because I'd rather not make something for myself and then it end up being too big. You know, of course, if it gets too big, you can always sell it. I mean, if it's not used, then there is definitely always somebody who might be interested in picking it up. But it would be nicer to be able to make something for yourself when it's bigger projects that takes long time. Like that. Lisa also has a sweater sitting in the timeout for the exact same reason. There's no rush when it's warm, huh? I am planning on making a sweater, or well, I'm not planning on making it. Well, I have ordered one. We need to make plans for it when I go home. So my mom is going to be knitting for me. Yay. The weather here in Mexico right now is sunny with a temperature of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 30 degrees Celsius. I mean, dude, it's like what, 9 in the morning at your place, 9:30. The wind is blowing from south to southwest at 10 miles per hour. The humidity is 46. It's pretty dry though. Hey, for once. Wow. Yeah, 9:30 in the morning. Today it's cool. It rained. Weather in Winkler right now is showers in the vicinity with temperature of 61 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius. It's blowing from southeast and it is a 93% humidity. I'm ready for summer to be over. I don't blame you. I wouldn't say that I'm ready for summer to be over. I'm just ready for late summer, which is for us like 20-ish degrees and sun. Right now it is sunny and it's 21, so that's what we have right now. That's perfect. Like I'll keep that for 2 months before like real autumn. Autumn here is like rain and wind and stuffs. Maybe it's 22 now. Let's see. Oh yeah. The conditions here are sunny with a temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from east northeast at 12 miles per hour, and the humidity is 42. I mean, this is perfect weather. I'm happy with this. It is a little bit windy, but it's not like insanely windy, and it's good weather, and that is why that is another really good reason for me to take a nice little walk after dinner. So that is something I should do. And you know what's good is we got started on this hat, which means that when it's TV time this evening, I can knit. Ooh, ooh. And that is super positive because, yeah, we are trying to use up this yarn, right? I'm hoping we're in the 70s by October. Wanna trade for a week? Just a week, help a brother out. Wouldn't exactly trade, but like we could meet halfway, maybe. That would be okay-ish. Like that would be warm for me still, like kind of hot, but not like insanely hot. And it would be a lot colder for you. So we could meet halfway. That would be fine with. So that will put you in like low 90s, I guess, or maybe 80s, begin 80s and 80s. Well, Rev, I think you'll just send it to Lisa then. She needs it. Go out and tell the heat to bugger up north to Canada. The only question is if it will follow your command. I mean, everything here is sun scorched. Yeah, I can definitely imagine. I mean, it's been here too. I also looked out, so in my front garden, we have like a bush that's always green. And now it's starting to throw its leaves, like, and it never does. It's green all year round. It never throws sometimes it throws a leaf, but I mean, it's not like a seasonal leaf thrower or anything like that. And now yeah, it's looking a bit sad actually. So I'm like, shit, maybe I should have watered it this summer when it was so dry. I never had to before. Um, Next spring, I also need to consider planting something in my front yard because it's been quite boring. As in, like, it's just ground almost on its own. It's a bit boring. And in the spring, we have tulips and narcissus and iris and stuff like nice flowers growing, but they all come from the flower bulbs and they bloom for a few weeks and that's it. But we need something else, something that's a bit more evergreen. So I've been considering that we maybe need to put a couple of lavenders in. I think that would be maybe a good thing. Also, lavenders, the flower of lavender is a nice smelly one, or it has a nice scent. Plus, bees would like it, and we do like to do good stuff for our local bee population. We do want to help the insects that helps grow fruit and make honey and stuff like that. The 10-day weather forecast here for Waco is hot. Oh, my goodness. Tropical nights and translating quickly to Celsius Fahrenheit, hitting close to 40 degrees every day, like between 37 and 40 degrees, and sometimes even more, 41. Phew. Yeah, no, that is no. Like nicely sunny though, most of it, but that really does not seem very fun. That's a little bit too warm for me. Little bit too warm for me. I mean, I could do it a bit colder. That would be fine. I haven't had anywhere near your heat, and some of my tomatoes have got a bit of sunburn. Oh, okay. That's a surprise. I mean, mine haven't gotten sunburned, and they have definitely had 40 once this year. I look at them right now, and they do look like they could use a bit of water, so I maybe should go and water them after we finish this. They are a little bit thirsty. They are having tomatoes on them right now about this size. Definitely green. That should be a bushy tomato, like a cherry tomato type, so hopefully they won't be growing a lot bigger than what they are currently. But I am still looking forward to tasting them. And I have been debating if they are tasting good. I may actually consider mailing some of the seeds to a friend I have. She's also in the States and she just bought a house with her husband. And they wanted to grow fruits. I think they are in, if I don't remember wrong, she is in, I think she might be in Alabama, but I'm not 100% certain. Well, I think she's in Alabama. Northern part of Alabama, that is. If I don't remember wrong. While we were in Mexico, hubby germinated a bunch of peppers. We transplanted and moved them to the grow tent on Saturday. This is why Americans laugh when the Brits complain about the heat. Well, the Brits did have actually quite a few heat waves this summer, just saying. We had some of them too. And that's not common for the Brits. So when you're not used to it, then it's like warm. But it's also depending on if it's humid. And I think because the Brits are close to the coast, it's often quite humid because you're closer to the ocean, right? What of July and August and probably some of September? Yeah. So why was it you chose to move to Texas, not moved your wife to like um, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York region, where you originally came from? Because technically that could have been optional too, I guess. I mean, the reason I moved to the Netherlands was simple. I couldn't expect a person to sell his home to move to Denmark to see if we could figure it out together. And I didn't have any belongings except for my clothing and my rifles and so on. Like my belongings were easy to bring with me. They weren't like non-movable. Ah, because she had kids and a steady job. That's fair. That is kind of similar to this reason, right? Like he owned a house and he had a good solid paying job, which he still has, by the way. So yeah, that makes good sense. Peppers get quite a bit spicy if they get lots of sun and heat. Yeah, not my thing. I'll jump the peppers. Why you always need to taste them when you're cooking? Yeah, but just I don't do peppers, so no need for me. I'll leave that to others. The peppers are out in the garden right now are hot. The ones in the tent are on a heat mat. Okay. But yeah, that makes definitely sense when people are more settled, and my partner was also more settled here than I were in Denmark, and I was able to move at the time, and I did have the support from my federation if I choose to do so and stuff like that. So it was definitely a possibility at the time. And I'm happy I did because I don't think I could have had any better support on my path as an elite athlete as I had from my partner, which I still have today. I have lots of this to thank him for, what he's done for me and the willingness and support he's given me. It was unconditionally, like no questions asked. And he still, to the day as today, when I tell him that I want to go to Denmark to see my family, he still drives me to the airport, no questions asked. I do, though, take him a little bit into consideration when I try to schedule some things. And ask him if he prefer that or that. If I, for example, have two different options for when I can depart or arrive, I will check with him if he has a preference, especially if the price is the same and doesn't make me a difference. He will get to help choose. You have such an European take on hot peppers. I don't do a ton of them due to stomach issues, but I like a bit of a kick in certain things. Well, my mouth will probably burn, and my stomach doesn't like them at all. I mean, spicy food generally gives me the need to, yeah, no. I just don't do spicy stuff. I don't mind if it's like if it has good herbs and stuff like that. Like spicy as in spicy hot, no thank you. Spicy as in many herbs, not an issue. Like I don't mind using spices for taste, but it shall cannot be hot. No, no, leaving my mouth burning. Like you cannot even taste the meat then. You only feel this excruciating pain going through your mouth and the stomach starts revolting on you. I mean, no thank you. My partner, on the other hand, he does like a really good hot. For example, like so once a year we go to Luxembourg, and in Luxembourg we will be eating at a Chinese place, and he always makes a hot soup one of the days, and hot as in spicy hot. And my partner loves this one, and he says like, I just like he gets to sweat on the forehead and all that stuff, and I'm being like, I'm no. Just no. But he enjoys it. I just don't. So I just can't do hot. Um, but maybe it's because I'm European. Maybe it's because. So I didn't exactly get much spicy food as a child either. So it's also probably a little bit with how you're grown up, right? Have you been used to it from a childhood stage, um, or how and whatnot? And I don't think I was very exposed to insanely spiced or hot food as a child, because my parents wouldn't likely have done it either. So you also get a bit influenced, I think, by your parents' eating habits. And then I think many people probably would call some of the things I eat a bit bland. Um, Danes like to use salt to spice their food. Salts can bring out the taste in many foods if it's just salted correctly. Not too much, not too little. I don't like hot for the sake of being hot. It has to have flavor and heat. Yeah, I guess that's just the problem is when I taste something hot, it's just hot for being the sake of hot. That's my feeling. I don't necessarily have flavor because all the flavor is kind of submerged under hotness. That's how I feel, but it's not necessarily how others feel about the exact same food. So I'm just very sensitive to hot, I guess. Rev likes a good habanero, fruity with decent amount of heat, not so hot you can't taste the food. I would think it's too hot to taste the food, yes, but you don't, and that's a I think it just shows the versatility of us people and the difference of how we are, and I think that's personally amazing that we are so different. Um, so yeah. Looking on this yarn, I probably will definitely need to pick up the white skein at some stage, which I have upstairs. But I knew that. But I also had decided that that was all right if I was gonna need to do that. So that's gonna be all right. I have habaneros in the garden. They aren't ripe yet, but I plan on making a mango salsa with them. Poor mangoes. Mangoes didn't ask for the habaneros. Nah, don't worry. Time flies. But my question is, now we have gotten a few rows in. Now you can really see how the colors work up here. Does it work? Are we okay? Like, it's definitely various toned. I think it's not too bad. It is definitely a lighter version, but I think it's okay. In the beginning, I wasn't sure, but now it looks better. Mangoes are good, so good with some spice. Mangoes and habaneros are best friends. Ah, I like them in Tai Chin. I mean, mango is just like an awesome fruit. I like a good mango. Um, Great for smoothies, great for ice, great for just eating as a snack, great in a salad. I like tashin on lime. Tashin on anything is good. Yeah, well, I'm thinking tashin? Question mark. I should probably know what it is, but right now I'm like question mark. Maybe I know, so I have to quickly Google. Tashin is like a Tabasco sauce. Okay, we are not familiar with this one in Europe. Oh, well, we are, because I can see in Denmark you can actually get it. It's a herb mixture with chili. Chili, lime, and salt, according to this. Okay, here I learned something new today. Tajin is a popular Mexican seasoning brand made from a simple zesty blend of mild chili mild peppers, dehydrated lime juice, and sea salt that delivers tangy, citrusy, and savory flavor. Mm. I think that's definitely something for my partner. Maybe in very mild quantities, I could work with it personally. I mean, we or he likes, and I'm okay with a very limited amount of it. Cajun is also like a herb we use here in the Netherlands. I wonder if that's similar to Tashin, except there's no lemon bit in it at all. But Cajun herbs is something we'll use. I'm just not sure if I can get Tashin in the Netherlands. I mean, by our bigger convenience stores, I would have to look for it. Maybe. I mean, we do have tortilla wraps and stuff like that, so probably have something along the lines. I'd have to check the store to know. Oh my goodness, we are almost done with this round. Then we'll flip that one over and we'll do a single stitch just to keep the stitch markers in control. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's necessarily a need to use the. It's more citrusy and salty than hot. To me, it has no heat, but take it with a grain of salt, pun intended. Yeah, well, ha ha ha. For me, it's probably very hot, even though it's not. Maybe it's not too bad. I'd be open to trying. Like, it's not that I don't try things that's spicy, but I will. Oh, it is possible. Wow. Look at this popping over. Check this out, girls and boys. Tashin Classico seasoning. 142 grams for €5. That is not much. It is seasoning with a unique mix of 100% natural chili peppers, lemon, and sea salt. Not too spicy and full of taste. It's great for fruits, veggies, and dishes and drinks, so it's good for everything, basically, according to this one. I will have to consider it. It's probably in the herb department because this looks like herbs. I mean, it doesn't look like a sauce. This looks like dried herbs, maybe. You would give notice to the heat a bit, but in Mexico they'd give this to children. It's not a bad price, and that's it. Okay, yeah. I think what I could do, that would probably not be a bad idea, is I would have to I will have to give them to, like, I'll have to buy them and test it out on some chicken. and then test what my partner says, because we tend to do cayenne, which is, I'm not sure, it sounds like something from Mexico too, but it's not actually. I'm going to see if they have specifics, because it's has to be related to something. It's because that has it has cayenne in it, cayenne peppers. It contains of paprika, cayenne, garlics, onions, thymian, and oregano. The cayennes from us. And the cayenne herb mix is originally inspired and made by the equally named folk group of the America's state Louisiana. So it's a Louisianan herb, apparently. You guys familiar? Cayenne. Let's pop over. Here you go. It's in Dutch though, but that's a cayenne taste. Ta-ta. But apparently that's inspired by or made by people of the states of Louisiana. I'm not like too keen on it, but that's probably the cayenne. The rest I'm good with. So I'd probably be okay with a bit of tajin then. Like, I mean, would they be similar if you're familiar with the cayenne? You let me know if you think I could do it. You would say that tajin is milder than the cayenne? Yeah. Yeah, cayenne I would definitely jump over. So I should try this one just for a different seasoning for once and see how he reacts. But again, that's first gonna be next month at the earliest convenience. I ended up wrapping up and knit a few more stitches because I was like, oh, we still have time. Much more mild. Okay. So maybe definitely worth a check. See what he says. I buy my cayenne in Costco-sized jars. Well, I do not. For a good reason. Oh, yarn splitty. That was better. Got the yarn back on track. But yeah, we are definitely gonna have a finished hat this week. Awesome. And I will love it for the fact that we have then also used 2 skeins. Oof, oof, oof. I like adding some cayenne to soup, wakes it up a bit. Oof. Sounds hot. If you like cayenne seasoning, cayenne is very tolerable. I wouldn't say I like it, but I'm okay with it. My partner likes it. And I always give him a bit extra. Tajin is the bunny slope to the spicy world. Okay. Well, maybe that's where we'll need to head into. Anyhow, it's 5 p.m., which means I need to clear up the mess I've made here on the table. I have things everywhere. And as I said, we are doing good. Probably at 2 inches now is a good guess. Let's just quickly measure for funsies. Yeah, 2¼ inch. But I can also see on the yarn I have, especially on the whites, that I will need another skein. But that's okay. As I said, I do have one that's like big enough for that. Have a great day. See you on Wednesday. Yep, I'll be back on Wednesday. As always, I'll be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central European Time. That's 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, etc. I had a wonderful time in your company. Thank you so much if you have watched the stream from the very beginning until the end. If you have joined later, that's also all right. I had a great time in your company, and I'll be back on Wednesday as well as I'll be back on Friday before I will be away for a week. So yeah, let's see if we are still knitting hats on Friday or maybe something else. Maybe we'll finish it on Friday. That could also on a Friday on Wednesday. That could also be the case, unless I finish it before then. Depends. I don't know yet. But if not, I will definitely look at something to bring with on the screen. Maybe we will head into the waterfall shawl because yeah, I need to get that kind of going in any case. We'll see on Wednesday how far I've gotten with things. Until then, take care. Happy crafting. Until see you next time. Love you all. Bye.